Hello, hello. It's your girl, life strategist KG, your favorite life coach. And if I'm not your favorite life coach now, hopefully by the end of this video, I will be your favorite internet life coach. Um, I just had a long day, um, and I've been meaning to record something for the past few days, and I've just honestly been procrastinating because I've been allowing fear to hold me back. But as a life coach, I know that we don't allow fear to win, right? And God put this on my heart to start creating content to help people like myself where I was in places where I was or where I've recently been walking through life transitions and navigating how to become the woman that you want to be. And so here I am. Finally, I am definitely a rebel, being obedient and pressing record and not allowing fear to keep me from doing what God has told me to do. And so hopefully I can connect with whoever it is that He has out there for me to connect with. And this journey of becoming, we can walk through it together because I don't believe it ever stops. As long as you have breath and as long as you have life, you should constantly be evolving and working and growing into the next version of yourself. So, what I want to talk about today is something that I'm walking through right now in this season of reclaiming my identity. And so, the topic of today's video is reclaiming your identity and becoming who you want to be, taking back your controls, taking back the controls of your life, figuring out who do you want to evolve into, what does that look like, what are the things that you want to accomplish in the next season, and getting serious. Getting serious. For me, and the reclaiming my identity, I am creating a new chapter. So, a little bit about me. I am a certified life coach. I've been certified since 2016. 2015, 2016, I've been certified. I've been doing it almost about 10 years. Um, so I went and did a program. My coaching program was a 9-month intensive program where we learned so much about the science and social sciences of people and emotional intelligence, how people think, how they respond, how they react, what triggers change, stress, all those things. We covered all those things. But what prompted me to do that was I was in a season of feeling unfulfilled. So coaching is something that as a younger person I wanted to do, but I just didn't know how to do it. And I was a young mom. So I had my first child when I was 20 years old. And I went back to school when I was pregnant with my fourth son, and um, I just knew I needed a degree. I needed a degree. I needed to be able to get a job to provide for my children, my family. And so I did took a test, and life coaching was one of the things that came up. And I was like, honey, no, nobody got time for that because I got to pay these bills and I got to raise these kids. With coaching, it said that you had to be willing to start your own practice, be an entrepreneur, and I just didn't have it. All I had time for was to get that degree, get out here, get a job. Well, I was at the place where I was past the degree, had gotten the degree, and I was working in a tech job, my first tech job. And I was at the point, you know how sometimes you have like an idea in your mind, like once this thing happens, then things will be great, or then this will happen. So I had in my mind, like, once I have a certain job, once I'm making a certain amount of money, I'll be happy, right? I'll be happy and that'll be it. Well, I had a nice job, career, and I was making decent money, so I thought at the time, because that was decent money at the time, and I was not fulfilled. Um, and so I found myself trying to figure out what do I need to do to feel fulfilled. And the only thing that kept coming to me was life coach, life coach, life coach. And I had looked into programs like over the course of years, several years, different programs, and I just couldn't afford those programs. At this particular time, I said, I have to do it. Like it wouldn't leave my spirit. It was something that God was prompting me to do. I had to do it. So I was like, I have to make a way to be able to afford this because at the time, it was 2015. I had custody of my niece. I had my three biological sons and my bonus son. So four boys and my niece. And so we had just got my niece, I think within the year. So we had had her for a year at that time. And I was like, I just got to do something different. And so I went and I did the program for 9 months. I started with one of my good friends. The goal was we were going to do it together. So she was doing fitness coaching and I was going to do like life coaching. I'm going to help you get your life. She going to help you get your body. Didn't work out. Why didn't it work out? Because she didn't finish the program. So I had to figure it out on my own because I did finish the program. And so I did it. I completed it. And once I completed it, I was like, okay, so now what do we do? Do we just tell people that we're a life coach? What does that look like? And God put on my heart, yeah, just tell it, put it out there. So I put it out there and I got a client the first day I put it out there. It was one of my friends nonetheless. However, she believed in me enough to hire me as her coach. And that just really like sprung open the gates of clients coming and me being able to actually like practice what I was preaching and learn and grow because I don't know if y'all know this, but like therapists don't have it all together. Uh, doctors still need doctors. Lawyers may still need lawyers if they get in enough trouble or whatever. And coaches don't have it all together either. I hope I didn't bust y'all's bubble. I hope you don't lose any type of trust that we were gaining here in this conversation. But yeah, on the journey of life, you live and you learn. And if you are blessed enough, you gain wisdom and you apply that wisdom in your life. And if you can apply the wisdom because it's a past lesson, you pass that wisdom on to people, right? So I learned a lot. I've grown a lot on this journey and like had ups and downs, like great times and down times. I've helped a lot of people. I've been blessed to be able to do that and partner with some organizations to provide some coaching. And so I've been praying about where can I take this? What does that look like? Because I just want to be myself like I am with my clients in real life and be able to just give value and help people um because life be life in baby, life be life in, but God be guiding, and we're gonna talk about God over here. So yes, that's going to happen because God is a huge part of my life and a huge part of my faith plays a big role in how I show up in the earth. And so that's something that will definitely be discussed because that's a big part of my evolution and my growth journey. So let's talk about what I want to focus on over here in KGLand. I always wanted to say that, KGLand. What I want to focus on over here is mindset transformation. I'm not one of those you can get $30,000 in 30 days coaches. No, it's not my ministry. That's not my lane. There are a lot of people out there like that. Some of them may legitimately be able to help you scale businesses and things to that nature. I'm not that girl. It's not me. But what I can do is help you get the mindset to go out and get the $30,000 in 30 days, if that be your goal, right? Because mindset is the most powerful thing that will either hinder you or help you depending on how you approach situations, how you view things, what perspective are you looking at things from. So, my goal is to hopefully share some wisdom from my journey that I've learned because when we talk about transitioning in life, I've had a lot of transitions. Pretty much anything that you can think of in life. I've been married. I was a young parent, had my first child at 20 years old. I've been married. I've been divorced. We lost our second son when he was 2 weeks old. I have children. I've raised children. I've been a step parent, or I like to call it bonus parent. I've been a bonus parent. I've been a mama TT. I've had to raise my niece, and I am currently an empty nester, and I do this because it's nesting ish. And if you are a parent in this day and age, you probably understand what I mean. These kids ain't trying to leave. Lordy, if somebody can help me figure that one out, because I mean, I love them, they love me, but okay, it's time. Little birdie fly the nest. So we're working on that. But in this season, I have experienced the freedom of having young adult children. Baby, listen, it's been great. At first, when I got into this season, I didn't see it as a positive because I felt like something was missing as a mother that's used to being on the go with my children, football, basketball, track, they did all the things. And then last year, my last son graduated high school. So last August, he started his freshman year in college, completely different because he didn't need me as much as he did. Like, there was no extracurricular activities, like nothing to look forward to on the weekends, like no Friday night lights, no basketball. And so for a period there, I was like, I feel like I've lost like my purpose. Like, what do I do? And I remember I was talking to my therapist. Yes, your girl has a therapist. If you don't have one, you should, because I believe in that. Anyways, I digress. I was talking to my therapist and I was explaining to her my feelings, how I was feeling. I felt like I didn't have anything to look forward to, and I just felt like I didn't have a purpose. And she helped me identify that it was emptiness syndrome. When I tell you the aha moment that happened, I was like, I'm over here feeling down and I should be feeling happy. Because, baby, I've done my fair share of raising children. When I realized that, baby, the light bulb went off. Life began to turn. Your girl didn't have to rush home from work for no reason. I don't have to cook dinner every day or out like multiple times a week. Like, these kids can figure it out on their own. I be taking myself out to eat, hanging out with my peeps, living life. Okay? And life has been being lived. Which is another reason why it took me so long to record this video, because I've been living life, right? But God put something in my spirit. And so here I am being obedient, and I'm hoping that we can connect. So if you like this type of content, which for me is like self help, like connecting, evolving together, a community of people who have like minded thoughts and want to grow and glow. Because I call it growing and glowing, because we're not going through nothing, we're growing through everything. Because I think it's a whole difference. Because if we going through something, that just sounds too negative to me. It sounds too much like somebody trying to take you down through there, and we're not living for that. So we're growing through it, because growing means that we're learning, we're evolving, and we are growing and we're glowing, because we're going to look good while we're going through it. Okay? Yes, that has to happen. We have to look good while we're going through it. Absolutely. I had to learn that lesson years ago, because for so long, I used to show up looking like what I was going through. Baby, when I look back on those pictures, I'd be like, why did nobody tell me? And they probably did, and I probably didn't listen. But yeah, we glowing and growing over here. Okay? So if you like to grow and glow, I hope that you would like, comment, and subscribe. I've been wanting to say that for a while. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Join the community. Join the community, because that's what this is gonna be about, and giving you tools to help you navigate changes in life, because they're gonna happen. If you live long enough, you will go through some transitions, and that is a blessing. It can also be a challenge, especially if you don't have the tools to navigate going through those with a mindset that would help you to grow, learn, live and evolve. Because just because we're going through something doesn't mean that we have to stop living. And I'm guilty of it because, baby, listen, I have young adults now, so I went through some stuff with my young adults. And when you are going through something, the temptation is to um, isolate yourself and to um, retreat and not live life because you might not feel like it in the moment, or shame and guilt and all those things, right? But what I've learned how to do is to live through it because life is to be lived. In the moments that you don't and you focus on the thing instead of focusing on what you can do and operating out of the space that you have control over and still living, um, you're losing time that you will never get back, right? And so one of the things that I've learned to do over the course of the past few years is to live through it. Live like, and when I say live, I mean like enjoying life, finding joy in life, whatever that looks like for you, figuring out what that looks like. For me, it is maybe watching a show and not feeling guilty about not being, because I was in hustle mode for so long, not being in hustle mode anymore. Or, you know, taking a walk or going out with friends for dinner or lunch or, solo dates, whatever that looks like for you. But the goal is to help you identify what that looks like for you. Identify who the woman is that you want to become if you're not already her. And maybe it's a version of you now, but you want to evolve into a better version of yourself. What does that look like? How do you get there? Right? Because sometimes all people need is a hand to say, let me help you into your next season. And so hopefully I can offer a hand. Some words of encouragement, some life lessons that I've learned along the way because God has given me a testimony, a beautiful testimony with so many ups and downs, but still beautiful. And I want to pay it forward by sharing that testimony. How did God help me over the hump? How did God help me through losing my son when he was 2 weeks old? How did God help me through that divorce that almost took me out, but my children needed me to be strong? How did God help me through career change in the middle of a pandemic and still provide it? Let's talk about that. Like so many things, right? That we go through. God helped me navigate having a young adult son that was getting in trouble and trying to figure out his life. And as a mother, I had to learn how to be a support and not try to prevent him from falling so that he can learn the lessons he had to learn. But that came with its own set of challenges. But me learning that lesson before anything happened helped me to preserve the energy that I had for my other children in that season. Helped me to preserve the energy that I have for myself. Helped me to be proactive instead of reactive, right? And what that does is it takes away, decreases the stress. I'm not saying it's not stressful, still stressful, but it decreased the stress as I was navigating through those seasons. And still, life be life, and baby, let me tell you, as long as you live, I don't care how people show up on these internet streets, okay? Because you can have the house, the cars, the clothes, all of that, and life's still gonna be life, because life be life. Look at Diddy, okay? If that's not a prime example, okay, I'm just saying. So life be life. Life is always going to have its challenges, but it's all about how we show up in those challenges, how we allow those challenges to impact us. Do we stop moving forward? Do we stop making progress? Does everything stop when we're hit with a challenge? Because if everything stops, and sometimes you need a season where everything stops. Sometimes silence is the best medicine that you can have in a season. But sometimes you still got to keep moving and progressing even in those challenges. And for some of us, we don't know how to do that. And what does that cause? Depression, setbacks, so much, so much, so many negative things that can come from that. But when you're moving forward and you're making progress, even in the challenges, you feel good and you feel positive because you're moving forward. When we get up and we get ready for the day, we look like something instead of what we're going through. You feel better. You'll feel better. And if you don't believe it and you've been going through something, try it. Get up tomorrow, the next day, whatever. Put on some clothes. Get cute. Just because. And see how it changes your mood in your mind. It helps. So hopefully, excuse me. I was sitting on my leg. I'm too old to be sitting on my legs. Hopefully we can connect over here in KGLand. That's what I like to call it. I like the sound of that in KGLand. That sounds fun. I feel like it's gonna be fun. Fun, but also purposeful. I always want to do that too. Clock that T. Um, but um I'm not, I don't take too much too serious, as you can see, but I do take serious the fact that I want to help as many people as I can navigate challenges in life, transitions, help you get your mind right, shift your perspective, help you figure out how to strategize and create goals for yourself, set smart goals for yourself, and go out and kill it. Okay? Because we killing goals over here. That's what's happening. Okay, and if you're not, that's okay. You can if you want to, and if you don't, it's okay. We listen and we don't judge. Okay, so um, hopefully you guys will join me. Um, so what I would like to talk about in this too is we want to celebrate the wins and we want to talk about the challenges. So I'll start. Okay. So what are we cheersing to? Because I love a good cheers. Okay. What are we cheersing to this week? This week, I'm cheersing to the fact that I recorded this video. Yay! Um, and it took me so long, but Lord knows, baby, you know my heart. I recorded this video, cheersing to the fact that God is good. God is good. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, in this season. And um what are our challenges? What are we growing through? What are we growing through? So right now I'm going through a season of growth, elevation, and healing, intentional healing. And what does that look like for me? I am being intentional to focus on some things that I need to work on to grow through, to heal. Working with my therapist in this season, taking some much needed time to myself, not doing too much in terms of like traveling right now for the next couple of months. I'm navigating a new transition, and so I'm praying about that, and so seeking God's guidance on that, and focusing on being intentional. But in this season, my word is consistency. So I'm focusing on being consistent in every area of my life. So I am reclaiming um, the person that was passionate about coaching and helping people. I'm reclaiming the girl that was about helping people in any way that she could. I'm reclaiming the version of me that is done playing small. We're not playing small in this season. God is telling me I'm thinking small. I need to think big. Thinking too small. We got to think big. So that's what I'm doing. I am focusing on thinking big and playing big, not just thinking about it, but being about it and doing it. Share in the comments what's something that you are growing through. So it's a challenge, but you're growing through it. And what's something that you are, what did I say? I forgot that quick. Brain fog is real, y'all. Growing through and cheersing to. Yeah, we're going to get it together. Don't worry about it. We're going to get it together. But yeah, share in the comments what's something that you're cheersing to, what's something that you're growing through. And what are you reclaiming in this season? What part of your identity are you reclaiming, or what part of your identity are you evolving? All right. So check me out here again next week. I'll come back with another video for y'all. I'm just proud of myself that I pressed record. I didn't overthink it and I just made it happen. So I'm here. I'm looking forward to connecting with as many of y'all as I possibly can. Again, it's your girl, Life Strategist KG, your favorite internet life coach. And if I'm not your favorite, hopefully I'll be your favorite by the end of this video. So go out, have a great day. Cheers to growing and growing.